Weird science
is the revolution.
Green Arrow number 10, written by Joshua Williamson with art by Sean Isaacs, Tom Darenick, Romeo Fajardo Jr., and Troy Pateri. And if you remember from the previous issue, Green Arrow has decided to work for Amanda Waller so he could help find, Roy Harper, who was sent on a mission by her as well, to try to get the files that were supposedly deleted from the Sanctuary from Heroes in Crisis. And to do this, Green Arrow is going to grab his son, Connor Hawk, and they're going to snowmobile up to some Arctic JLA base that's been, out of commission, where apparently the files are being stored. And in this whole thing, the group that Roy has put together are pretty much all the Arrow characters that you haven't really seen much of anymore, like Emiko Queen, Arrowette, and Red Canary. I'm telling you, the thing is, I don't like Red Canary because she shouldn't be around for what little experience she has, but I like seeing all of these girls together in the red matching costumes like this. I'm like, they could be something cool going forward at some point.
They could, but it's going to end up kind of being, this isn't as bad as, say, when we get to the Flash later, but the idea of, the explanations for things are just, well, I don't know, but here I am, like Arrowette. Kind of not involved, but here I am. It's kind of cool. But the thing, and I went last issue talking about where I had hoped that if we're going to bring up Heroes in Crisis, hopefully this is going to be like a meta thing that they're going to show how bad it was. And actually, the file she wants is the footage of Wally killing Roy and the rescues that I don't know now the way that it's played, because she seems to be just going after the confessional files that were kind of already released at points, and it just doesn't work. And then what I really think at the end of this, when are Batman, and I blame Batman for this, the idea that Batman has promised everybody that these files were scrubbed. There's no files. And this is why is it, this shouldn't be a Justice League base. Maybe make this a Legion of Doom base that somehow Lex got a hold of these. But the idea that Batman has lied to everyone and then has set up what seems to be a fortress guarded by the exact same AI that you were trying to use to heal people.
That can make hard constructs like the Danger Room that you got all your aggression out of during Sanctuary. Why is this a thing that even fights people that are allowed access like Justice League members?
And then actually saying...
It's gained sentience, Jim.
I'm telling you, it's using tools. The idea that you are really showing, and now I'm thinking, because I was giving Joshua Williamson some credit of oh man, you're being smart and clever here. Now when he does this, I think he doesn't want you to ask questions. Maybe it'll turn out different, but the idea that after that debacle of a murderous sanctuary, Batman decided, I swear Batman's like, you know what? This AI really did really screw up and cause deaths. I think it would be really good cards for my new sanctuary that I'm going to hide shit in that was from this one that we shouldn't have around. And I promised everybody that I scrubbed. It's nonsense. And when they go into this, the idea, like you said, that when Oliver goes in and he actually gets access by entering, that he's going to be attacked. As well. Yeah, and Roy. And even then, it should be a point where it can differentiate. You might want to play that it's gone rogue, but then it still makes Batman look bad. Because again, I keep saying it's Batman because it seems like it would be Batman. But even the idea that you have this, I wonder why the Justice League weren't notified of a break-in. No, the characters are still there. You can't play this idea of there's no Justice League.
And even if there was a Justice League, the people who have entered are former Justice League members who have access, so you shouldn't be notified of a break-in.
No, and if you wanted to have it easier, Amanda Waller is at the Hall of Now Order, if there is a signal going to there, she could try, she could make it. She's the one who sent Roy there. She's the one who sent Oliver then to get Roy. She might actually even have some console there in the Justice headquarters to hit and turn it up. But no, you're just doing this. It's really weird. But
about weird, the biggest play I have the problem with is the idea that we're doing all of this because Oliver has just found out during this arc that Roy Harper is still alive from Leanne when she was transported to the alien planet that he was on. And Roy has been alive since Infinite Frontier years now. And the idea that Oliver Queen had no idea all this time, this strikes me as wrong.
Yeah, and not only that, but here's where you get, and you said it, and I'll bring up my example. My man Sully, he always tells me every book he likes. He loved this. He hasn't been reading it, though. So when you jump into this, it is just fan service. And some of it is really cool. You get these characters. You get Mia, who you've been waiting for.
Oh, and Speedy shows up. That's so great. Just the idea. But why?
Why? And that's what I'm saying. You said it. It's surface level. And you even get, and this is where I told you during our spotlight on the Patreon, you get yet another Wally hugging Barry moment. We've had these over and over and over. You had it.
Yes, from the Rebirth Universe special. Yeah,
I hate to say it, I'm desensitized to it by now. This one did like all the rest. I'm like,
not drugs, Jim.
Yeah, and then tell Roy that, right? You know what I'm saying?
Did.
It's funny, like you have this, and then you have a background of Roy and Oliver. Like it's a lot of fan service stuff, which is fun and it's good, and I like that. But in a series where the only really good moments and the ones that you can really get, because that first 6 issues of how Merlin got time tech it made no damn sense. But when you ended up having Connor and Oliver come together, when you end up having, Leanne, and it's nice. It's really nice.
You get all the Arrow family together, and even ones that haven't been around at all since the New 52, and new characters who have just showed up. So I'm just saying the idea of Mia Dearden showing up as Speedy once again, because apparently Roy contacted her for a group, because apparently Roy knew about Speedy and Oliver hasn't thought one damn lick about her for whatever reason. But just even Arrowette showing back up in costume after the Young Justice stuff that we had that Bendis was doing, it didn't make a lot of sense for Arrow. I'm sorry, it wasn't even that. It was the Dark Crisis Young Justice tie-in that we had that she showed back up. And where in that one we had the idea all the stuff that we had in Young Justice didn't seem like it mattered, and all of a sudden she was just kind of back, and that it never really fit, because we always got to a point, because I can't remember who the writer was on that, and I feel bad.
Megan Fitzmartin.
Oh, it was Megan Fitzmartin. That's what it was. But Megan Fitzmartin just didn't realize that a lot of stuff in Young Justice had been taken care of, and all she did was reiterate the idea that she's going to take care of it, because I guess she didn't read the series
and then didn't seem to take care of most of it.
No.
It was weird. Yeah, because then it went in other books.
Arrowette is willing to do Young Justice stuff again, even though she stopped a long time ago, and so we left the series with that. But also, she's back here, never really a part of the Arrow family, and I want to think that Joshua Williamson is doing the idea, because back in the Young Justice cartoon show, which most people loved, as far as I know, I loved it, but they used the character of Artemis as a replacement for Arrowette, and it never really seemed right, because in this continuity, you don't have Artemis Croc being the Artemis from that show, because she was just a replacement for Arrowette. So let's get that whole idea of bringing Arrowette in to be that person for Oliver Queen,
Artemis was. Well, it's
kind of
cool, because she even says at the one point, I'm not part of the family, we'll see how it goes. Yeah. So that's good. But what I get, and there's 2 moments in this that kind of strike me as, okay, you're just surface leveling here. And they're weird things. It's when when Oliver's talking about Roy, when he was told by Leanne. Leanne says, he says, Roy's dead. No, he was there with Dinah. This is when he's recapping. And again, a lot of this has some recap of stuff we've already read as well. But then Oliver goes, damn it, you multiverse shenanigans. Oh, my God. And then all she says is, no, listen to me. It was my dad. It was him. Okay. And then they move on. It happens later when Roy is like, oh, no, you're just a hard-like construct of this AI from the Sanctuary. And remember, he was in the Sanctuary, so it would have had a lot of info. How Oliver you're my son. Oh, it must be you. It wouldn't
Oliver.
Play that? It wouldn't do, the AI wouldn't do that?
Realize the AI, Danger Room shit that we had there, all vindictive. All terribly vindictive assholes.
So oh, you drug addict jerk. And then he's like, boy, you are a...
Because that's the thing, that was the compassion that Wonder Woman added to it. The idea, in order for you to get over your problems, you have to face the worst things you could possibly imagine. Nothing nice.
Oh, so what you're saying is the compassion of, let's send Batman back in time so he could see his parents die again. That'd be pretty cool. That's the compassion she used for that. The 3 of them, Batman, Superman, they should still be in jail for the shit that they pulled with that Sanctuary. I'm telling you, there should be complete... And that's all Amanda Waller needs to do, is throw that on the board there and say, you explain how you did all this nonsense, which, again, might be what she's doing. But, yeah, at the end, when all that... Yeah, I know it's not you. You're AI. You're a construct. You're my son. Oh, hey, Dad.
Well, even the idea before Oliver does enter the Justice League bunker where everything is being kept like this, Connor Hawke and him are attacked by, Emiko Queen, the Red Arrow. We have Red Canary, and we have, I can't think of the other one right now, because there's so many goddamn Arrow characters.
Oh, you have Red Arrow, Arrowette, Red Canary, and then Mia Speed.
Arrowette. Yeah. I'm thinking about Speedy jumping in later on, but the whole idea, the first 3, they show up, beat the crap out of Connor and Oliver Queen, tase Arrow them to the point where, all right, let me help you up. Well, we were sent here with Roy, and he said, don't let anybody enter. But now you're here. I guess you can enter. I'm like, why was this scene even here? Why did they have to do any of this? Why not just talk? Because you have to have that big scene where these 3 together. Oh, my God, are they mind controlled? Oh, no, it's just a big misunderstanding until, hey, go on in.
And I think that they wanted to play, Joshua Williamson wanted to play the idea of like when Roy attacks late because there's nothing outside. If you see, like, maybe what you should have is Oliver, I don't know how you detain him, or he's like something and they see Connor and don't think it's really Connor because they all, like, not all of them have seen him for a while. He's been missing or whatever. But when they see Oliver, like, why are they attack? They attack him to then say, oh, well, Roy said attack. It's almost like they really wanted to hurt him first and then blame Roy for saying it didn't make sense. Like the idea, if I'm there watching my front door and my wife says, don't let any strangers in, and you show up and I punch you in the face and I haven't seen you in 3 years. You're kind of a stranger. Hey, Eric, and then I light you up and like hug you. I don't get it.
It's even weirder because Arrowhead's talking about the idea that we did this because Amanda Waller, she grabbed us, put brain bombs in us, so we have to do this. And like, why would she want us? But then later on, Oliver explained, look, these aren't brain bombs. But the thing is, she just put these in people like Arrowhead and Red Canary. So I'm like, are they afraid that they are a part of the Arrow family? Or are these actual brain bombs and they're going to kill these characters now because they didn't play ball?
And then what I thought was that, and they show when Roy says it, you do see like that little glow that they're showing you that, and that's when Oliver says.
But Roy makes sense.
I thought that maybe it would have been like revealed where you like cut, like somehow Amanda Waller's watching this as this is going on. And they cut back, and there's Peacemaker like, you put bombs in those girls? Nah, I just lied. Like something like that. She just said it.
Why wouldn't she?
And I don't know. And even then, you could have just played it off of we're here because Roy asked, and Roy said he's in danger. Roy having one, yes, that I get. But a Red Canary, like, there's no real reason for them. They should just be there to help.
Bomb at this point because they have these things inside them that teleport them through space and time if they get close for whatever reason. But I'm telling you, characters like Arrowhead and Red Canary, they should definitely have brain bombs in them.
Yeah, it's very odd. But then he goes in and he's like, I'm going to break in. But then and then they even say like, oh, he went in and then the door slammed. So we've been waiting, Roy. So then Oliver goes up and then realizes, oh my God, this is a Justice League facility. I can just do a scan and get in.
Yep, just like Roy.
Yeah, and
wouldn't need to break in.
It's weird, but that's the thing. Roy, they say broke in to make it different, which is odd.
Because it is odd, because the idea in my mind that we're playing this, because when Oliver Queen, when all that shit happened where he supposedly died before Dark Crisis, he wasn't a member of the Justice League. He died supposedly and was teleported away. And because even when he went to Dark Crisis, Black Canary was grabbed. He wasn't.
Yeah,
he
didn't have a
onto the teleportation.
For him,
no. So that's the thing is, if we're doing like members like Green Arrow here, who has access to it because he was a former member, so was Roy Harper.
Yes, so was Roy. And again, these are the little things. And I'll tell you, I think that, and as we go forward, the next section especially, I think we're seeing a lot of, people just doing what they want, not knowing a lot of the past. And the editors, I don't think they even know. And Joshua Williamson fudges a lot.
Even in the background we have of Roy throughout the years of him doing stuff, you see him as Red Arrow with Hulk or when he was a member of the Justice League.
Yeah, there you go. But I don't know. It's so crazy. But yeah, he goes in and then he does find Roy. He realizes, oh my God, this is a Justice League facility. Oh my God, Sanctuary, you get a computer. I mean, if Batman really wants to just like, hey guys, I'm going to really fuck with people. And I end up having a mask. It's even the cracked mask that's there. Like, if you would assume that's it.
The Sanctuary mask.
Maybe this is all, maybe the whole thing of me saying it's bullshit because of the files being released. Oh, maybe this is just a full out 100% setup. Maybe it's a dupe by Amanda Waller. So then, get this. You end up having, oh no, you're not the real Oliver. Yes, I am. You're my son. Let's hug. We have it again.
Daddy.
It's every time. Oh, let's hug it. I'm like, all right, stop it. Stop. Get a room, guys.
Which feels so weird that this is the first interaction between Roy Harper and Oliver Queen ever since freaking the Sanctuary happened, because we had the whole Infinite Frontier thing before the dawn of DC. We've had 2 eras of DC Comics since this reunited, I can't think of the word, reunion. But it feels so weird. Like, why would that possibly be a thing? We had Roy fucking around in Teen Titans Academy for how long?
Yeah, you had that. I do know, and yes, word should have gotten him. I know at one point, remember, he was going to call Dick Grayson, and then he was going to call Oliver, and he hung up the phone. But that was when he was still a Black Lantern. So I don't know what the fuck's going on. But yeah, it does feel like that far on that Oliver should have at least heard or something. But he heard from Leanne, and he thought it was multiverse nonsense. So all of this together, it's a really nice bunch of fan service in here. Definitely. For people who want the Green Arrow family, who like the Green Arrow family. If you can get past, not even just get past the idea of like nothing really being explained, but get past the idea that this is a series now that's gone on this far without really doing that much. We're on issue 10 of this.
It was the hunt for Oliver Queen and now the hunt for Roy Harper. That's what we did.
And the hunt for Oliver Queen, I hope that things got wacky and they had to change, because that didn't make any sense whatsoever. But when we got that, you know what it is? You tell me if I'm not wrong here, right? Or if I'm right or wrong. When we get these issues like this, when we got out of that first 6 issues, we said, you know what? We got where we needed to go. We like that we got characters back. I guess you gotta have to just not really look into the potential. We keep saying that this issue again. I like what we got. We got some characters, but we have to look past it.
We had to fudge everything that happened to Oliver Queen in the Dark Crisis to make the series actually work from the get-go.
And so I can't say that I hate this, because actually when I'm reading it, I do get sometimes telling you, I don't know why. This is where I laugh. I'm like, oh, he did it. He's going to make the chili. Like, he's throwing every bit of fan service at you, and it feels okay. Now, maybe the problem is you need more story to explain what you've already done, because this could be just like the Nightwing book by Tom Taylor. Hey, we're going to have because if everything worked out and we just had a book where all of these characters, Arrowette, Red Arrow, Red Canary, Mia, they go around doing stuff. You got Connor. It could be the best book we ever read. I mean, if we could get to that point, but we're not there yet in an explanation based, and we're in the middle of a story that is kind of embracing that nonsense to, kind of confuse us of where we're going. If this, I just imagine
next issue we're going to bring Eddie Fires back just to bring everything full circle.
Why not? He'll be there. We'll have the he'll be
the den mother of this group.
This will be the deal, because he's at the end. The big thing is that now there's Construct Justice League that's going to come.
Green Arrow versus the Justice League.
And we're going to show that, Oliver and Roy are a great team and they can think on their feet and they don't need you'll play the fan service bit of it. And I think that's all we're going to get a lot more fan service. I don't mind the fan service.
Me either.
But the idea that we're like on top of a pile of sand as a foundation, either get fully away from it. Yeah, but when we get done this, everybody's here. Forget about all the nonsense, and then just have a fun book would be cool.
Please explain Mia Dearden me in this, what she's been up to, why, how Roy found her, why Roy remembered her, all the stupid bullshit that needs to be explained that we're never going to get because it's too goddamn hard ever since the New 52.
Yeah. Well, what happens in this? I said it happens a lot more in the Flash, but it's like, oh man, how are you here? That's what I was going to ask you. That's what we get as explanations. That's what we keep getting from every book, it seems like.
I sent him to the Phantom Zone. You can do that? Moving on.
Yeah, moving on. And the question always remains unanswered. It's like, oh my God, that's crazy. We could do that? Hell if I know. And then they move on. Even a simple thing of, hey, if I don't come in an hour, what does that mean? He doesn't know. It's always that. It happens. Like I said, the Flashers drive me nuts.
In this book, when Oliver's like, if I'm not back in an hour, you know what to do. And what does that mean? I don't think he knows. Okay.
Nobody knows anything. They're just doing things in that. Also, at this point, I'm just asking you, why don't you take the whole team in? There's no reason not to. You're going into this facility. The door's open. Have everybody there. But they want to have a Roy Oliver moment, the personal deal. But there's no reason to not.
You can do that with an audience, too.
The entire team in. But there you go. So, yeah.
Well, honestly, I believe in Oliver's choice because sending Red Canary in there is a death sentence for her.
He's going to have to do so. I mean, there's the explanation for her. He's like, oh, my God. Arrowette, don't really know you, but Red Arrow, you're my test, you're my sympathizer. Oh man, hey, Red Canary. Ooh, Dinah said you were okay. Okay, moving on. It's that Red Canary. They got to get past the. It shows you that she's done shit because it's like, oh, she said you're cool.
Well, even Arrowette, she hasn't done anything besides for that Dark Crisis tie-in in over 20 years.
She's an Olympian, Eric. How dare you? She was there getting gold medals for her country. So at least you have that, though. And then he's like, I heard she's a good sniper. All right. I think that's just to set up something next issue as well, but we'll see. we'll see how it goes. But yeah, very odd. But what would you give this?
Ultimately, with all my flaws, the fan service did get me like it will get a lot of people. So I'm going to give it a 6.5 out of 10 on top of the idea that I love Sean Isaac's art in this, and I think the colors are great. So it's just one of those things. You're not going to get a lot of story, a lot of explanation, but the little bullshit you do get there can be enough ultimately, especially in a week this bad, in my opinion.
Yeah, this week is bad. I'm giving it a 7. I mean, I bitch and moan about it, but I bitch and moan only because of the idea we need to explain some things eventually. But just the idea, we're joking about stuff during this, right, Eric? Right? You got me.
Right.
Explain to me anything about Roy being a Black Lantern.
I still think that was a cool idea. It just never went anywhere in Infinite Frontier.
And then what happened with it? It was forgotten.
It went away.
Who wrote that? Joshua Williamson. Yeah, that's what he does. So that's what I get. But by the end of it, you just end up, it's like a footnote of, hey, what happened to that? How did that come in? And when he does these things, Arrowette, that's cool. Me and you both like Arrowette. You like Mia a lot. I like, I like Emiko a lot. Emiko's, of the characters here, Emiko is my favorite. And
you still got the HIV, Speedy?
Well, that's what I kept thinking as well when they were like, oh, are they going to show her with I thought you were going to get a big background.
I'm just hoping with the multiverse rebooting that the HIV was sent away.
It was.
Weird science
is the revolution.